We finally made it to the second half of the 2.0 update for Wuthering Waves, which means we can pull for Roccia. And even though I lost my 50-50, I still want to talk about why she's one of the best sub-DPS characters, especially for CAMELLYA and Havoc Rover. So if you've been looking for a build guide, I got you. For Roccia's combat roles, she falls under Concerto Efficiency, with having higher heavy attack damage, the traction effect pulling enemies to a specific position, with havoc damage and basic attack damage amplification on outro. And if you want to upgrade her to max level, here are all the materials you're going to need. For what skills prioritize upgrading first on Roccia, her Forte Circuit and Resonance Liberation are at the top here. Then I do your Resonance skill, your Intro skill, then lastly your normal attack. And here are all the materials you're going to need to upgrade these skills. For Roccia's best weapon options, her signature, the Tragic Comedy, is easily your best option. I would highly recommend pulling for her signature gauntlets, but if you decide not to, you do have two other options. The first one being Zhang Liao's signature, Verity's Handle, and the other one would be the standard 5-star Abyss Surges. If you don't have any 5-star gauntlets, don't worry, there are a couple of 4-star ones you can use. For Roccia's best echo sets, you have two options. The first and the best one in my opinion is going to be Moonlit Veil. For your 4-cost echo, you're going to want the new Nightmare Impermanence Heron with either crit rate or crit damage as the main stat. For your 2 3-cost echoes, I would go with Havoc Damage or Energy Regen, one of each if you need a little bit more energy regen, and for your 2 1-cost, Attack Percentage. The other set you could use is Moonlit Clouds. At your main 4-cost echo, you're going to want to use the regular Impermanence Heron with either crit rate or crit damage as the main stat. For your 2 3-costs, you're going to want Havoc Damage or Energy Regen again, and for your 2 1-costs, Attack Percentage. For your echo substats, you're definitely looking for crit rate. After that, crit damage, energy regen, and heavy attack damage bonus are good, and then lastly, attack percentage and flat attack. For Roccia's best team options, your premium team of CAMELLYA and Shorekeeper is going to be diabolical. If you're someone who's free to play, pairing her up with Havoc Rover and either Baija or Verena as your healer is actually still pretty good. The last thing I want to talk about is Roccia's Resonance Chain, and is it worth getting multiple copies of her? Overall, I'd say her S1 is kind of a must-have, not only just for the Resonance skill, giving the extra imagination, but being able to be immune during the basic attack Real Fantasy slams is a game changer. I feel like this is the same situation we had with Zezha. At the time, during 1.2, Zezha didn't really have any crazy character she could boost outside of Jinshi, so people were like, maybe I'll just skip on Zezha. But then when Carlotta came out, everyone's like, oh my goodness, I need Zezha to make my premium Carlotta team. I feel like we're having the same thing with Roccia here. Like, people are underestimating her a lot, in my opinion, and especially for people who have CAMELLYA, she is the best in slot option. Or are you going to be saving for 2.1, where we're going to be getting Phoebe and Brant? Personally, I'm looking forward to Phoebe, but Brant might low-key be the move